I think the people who know, the people that would potentially take that person in, didn't take that person in for a reason. And we're talking about people that have means. There's certain situations where people are they're stretched thin. There's too many people now. They're over, you know. We're
grandma can't have another person in the house.
Yeah,
right.
Or like legally, right? They're on. They're in a certain housing program where they can't have more than whatever it is. What up? It's Three Brothers No Sense, your favorite barbershop style podcast. I'm Tavares Ferguson, aka for my co-host Buff and Rozzies. Fellas, what it do? Call you Rozzies?
I got quite a bit. I know sometimes I don't have much, but I got quite a bit this time. First and foremost, I want to give a congratulations to the Anti-Vaxxers. You guys have made a difference. Measles are back. We now have the most measles cases than we've had in 33 years. So, I like to congratulate people that set out to, complete a goal and they reach it. I don't know if that was your specific goal, but here we are. So congratulations on that. Man, I don't know if y'all found this funny, bro, but the Department of Justice. So they came out and said there is...
Oh, that's not a joke? Oh.
No. I mean, it is a joke. They looking like a joke. They said it's no Epstein list, bro. I guess for me, the funny part was all of the people that were not only swearing that there was a list, but like you had like the deputy director of the FBI when he had his podcast, who also was thinking about resigning, by the way, reportedly. He said he intimately knows details about who's on the list, what's on the list, and he's never letting the story go. And that could be why he's thinking about resigning. Like maybe this is where he, won't cross the line with Trump and the administration. But it's a lot of people in the administration that was pushing for this Epstein list. And voila, out of thin air, there's no list. Even though our attorney general, she tried to clear it up, but she is on record saying that it's on her desk. Now, she said she was talking about the file, but she never took time to clear that up. Like, by the way, I'm not talking about a list. I'm just saying there's a file and I will see if there's a list in it. She just rolled with the whole list question.
That's a dumb argument in itself, though. If there's a file, I've never seen a case file that didn't have a list of conspirators or a list of like named individuals in the case. Like there's documentation in the case that says this person did this person did that. So you can create a list from the documentation. So there is a list.
You also ain't never seen.
There's no way that there isn't a list. So.
And don't even stop there. Remember, she invited people, and they all held up binders with the Epstein files in it. Like it's coming. Like they kept teasing it like No Limit did Mercedes album. Like, it's coming, and it never came, man. So it just was cool to watch. It was just cool to watch MAGA freak out because you do have some hardliners that are like, "Yo, Trump, you wrong on this one, bro. We need that list."
This one?
And then, and you got some that's like, man, what list? Like the Dave Chappelle skit that people put next with the Trump press conference.
Oh, what over?
yeah. You cooking bitch? We're talking about all. So that was just really, really, really funny. The only other two things I got is it's bad enough that most people don't trust the media, but when you have companies like Newsmax partnering with Truth Social, and the largest owner of Truth Social is the current president. They are now partnering to where Truth Social will stream Newsmax content. How in the world? I mean, no one ever thought Newsmax was going to cover Trump fairly anyway. But damn, whatever happened to trying to play stuff off? Like playing stuff off that don't exist no more.
They don't need to. They don't need to.
I mean,
authoritarianism, bruh. Like there is no need to do any of that anymore. Like Trump has gotten to the point where he doesn't have to hide his intentions. He doesn't have to hide his white nationalism. He doesn't have to hide Like, he can do whatever he wants to do. And I use the word white nationalist because it's a little bit more palatable to the people that are like, oh, I'm not racist. Okay, you cannot be racist. You can just be all about white power. That's fine, right? Like that white power is not racist. But guess what? What it does is, in order for you to have that power and maintain that power, you got to shit on somebody. And so that's what's happening right now, is that they are going after, we see it, right? They've even talked about going after Puerto Ricans or Puerto Ricans at this point. Who, by the way, listeners out there, Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. They're born U.S. citizens because Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States.
Do they speak Spanish? Do they speak
Spanish? He said Mexicans.
Yeah,
but so it's not even just Newsmax though, Rozzy. It's like you look at how CBS and I forgot which other company settled a lawsuit with him because they sued them or whatever. They settled out of court. You look at Jeff Bezos, who owns Washington Post, who had a front row seat at the inauguration, and just you really can't. And I know because I love to read my newspaper. I try to ride for the media, and I still do in certain aspects, but in general, I don't know where you can get your news from and really trust it now, because these other outlets only going to be but so critical for fear of getting sued.
But that's the point.
And I don't know if you've seen Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
They're kind of, Rachel Maddow is thinking about going out and like creating kind of a streaming network that's outside of traditional media, so that she can do some of that and not have to worry about the whole, the news. And traditional media today is getting to the point where, like you said, they're scared. They're scared of what Trump can do and everything like that. And so Rachel Maddow, I think, is going to try to see if she can figure out a way to, I guess, maintain her income and not have to worry about the lawyers and everything else at MSNBC. And that is wild to think that MSNBC is filtering, and because they are probably, they're the Newsmax of the left. So, for them to have to be filtering out stuff, that means that she has to be really, really pissed to be thinking about that.
Maybe the Fox News of the left. Newsmax goes a little hard. Newsmax and OWN, they go a little hard.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So,
the only other thing I got, man, is King of the Hill is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, man. From the preview, it looks pretty funny too. I was wondering, were they going to shy away from some of the gender, the social issues we're dealing with today, and they leaning right in.
Yeah, they're going right into it. I saw that today. I'm excited about it. I wasn't a King of the Hill fan, but I watched it. But I'm actually excited to see where they go with this.
Yeah, same. That's all I got, man.
Cool. You guys know I love my fans, and so I wanted to report once again that Carnival has banned the fans. And so far, you might enjoy that. You might like that. But I want to just talk to our listeners a little bit about that. It's not racist. I hate to say it. They're trying to be like, Carnival's trying to gentrify, Carnival back, because let's be honest, Carnival is the hood of cruises.
It's the Walmart of cruises.
It is the Walmart of cruises.
I'm trying not to say Kmart, so I'm going to call it the Walmart of cruises.
Yeah, so
it's called the Spirit Airlines. It's the Spirit Airlines of the sea.
So, but what happens is
like this.
But what they're trying to do is they are trying to kind of get a little bit of, I guess, take the hood out of Carnival Cruises, or at least the feeling of the hood out of the Carnival Cruises again. So they did not say you can't have your fan. You can have your fan on like outside. You can't have it in the clubs. And instead of doing all hip hop all the time, they're going to have theme nights or whatever, so that, maybe if you are on the boat and you don't want to hear hip hop, you can go to the club one night and you can have, I don't know, a country western night or whatever. We still gonna be in there with our fans or with our cowboy boots on country western
who's
night.
We, Rozzy?
So I don't know what country
who's we?
Carnival think they doing.
Rozzy is so nice.
Who's we?
Rozzy is so.
Who is we, Rozzy?
Nice. He's so nice.
What do you mean I'm nice?
Carnival said, "Look, you niggas need to find y'all another cruise line." That's what they said. That's what they said. Now you got it. Maybe it's not racist, but they may still want black people, But they want some of you niggas to find another cruise line.
They don't want the hood.
As well
as like that. They are trying to.
As well as I'm not even going on Carnival. But
truthfully, truthfully, I get what they're doing, right? And that's why I called it. They're gentrifying. They really are gentrifying, or trying to gentrify Carnival. No, that's what they are. They're trying to clean up. They're trying to clean it up. They're trying to. Yes, we don't care if you're black or white or whatever, but we would just want a little bit higher class of passenger. That's what they're looking for.
Go up on the price. I think it's they're setting a standard. It's just simple, like some of the stuff that is being done is overbearing and it impedes on other people's ability to enjoy their vacation.
Now, it's only fair that we mention Ferg hates those fans.
I do hate those fans. I do hate those.
For that, just for listeners that missed that up,
I think it's to the point where, like, if you watch some of these videos and it's just like, if you're like me, you don't like that song, you don't like, it's just, I can't escape it. Like, I came on vacation to relax, and I was talking to somebody about something similar. Is I'm all for freedom of expression. I'm all for people to be able to be their true selves. But at a certain point, when it interferes with my ability to enjoy myself, my ability to do the things that I like to do as well, then that's when it's problematic. You know, I go back to the whole pro-life versus pro-choice. I can't. When I start making decisions that impact you and your life and your way of being, that's different. Like, hey, you come, they play music and all this stuff. If you're in a corner doing that, but these things are taking over decks. They're taking over. People are bringing. You don't even have to play hip hop, Rising. People are bringing their. I think they banned portable speakers on the deck. Yeah. Like, because they're walking around with speakers doing these songs. It's like, my God, let the DJ. And so I would feel the same way if it was any type of music. If it was country.
Okay, Radio Raheem. Look, like you sound like, was it Paulie? Wasn't that his name? Like, it was like, you know, you can't be coming down my block with your speaker from Do the Right Thing. Like that's what it sounds like.
But is he wrong? Like, you get to, because you want to do something, that it impacts everybody. This is like if you're going.
I agree. I do agree. I'm like, yeah, I agree. I don't think you should be out there playing your own music, right? And I even get that at the beach. Like I assume, like when we go and we're at the beach and it's like you got your huge speaker out there where you can hear it all the way in the ocean from where you're sitting, stuff like that. It's like I don't want to hear that, right? So I get it.
It goes back to, I remember a couple of years ago when Lizzo wore her outfit to the basketball game, and it's. Yeah, you have the right freedom of expression, all this stuff, but this is a family. This is an area that is common area. So when you're in a common area, you kind of have to go with the masses. Like, you can't just, if I'm taking my kids in and I got to explain why she's wearing it and what that is and all that, that's not fair to me and my kids. Just because you feel out of the 20,000 people in the stadium, you're the one person that feels that I need to express myself this much, and the other 19,999 people shouldn't be able to say anything, right? That's the part, you know. So when you affect the majority, that's problematic. Fans, it could be,
but what about,
they play country western.
What if the majority wants it though?
Then they need to find.
We're talking Carnival, right? The majority wants it. That it's that customer base that they are going. People love going to Carnival. Like, you see all the TikToks and stuff about when the Carnival cruise pull up and you're on the other cruise, like feeling almost jealous because they look like they're having a great time. Like, the customers want it. Like, Carnival stays packed out and booked out based on that. So my thing is it an issue?
It is.
Is it like a safety issue? Like, what's the issue?
Because I pay just like you paid to enjoy myself with the things that Carnival brings. When you add your extra stuff, I didn't pay for the Lizzo package. I didn't pay for the fan package. I paid for my kids to be able to go on a deck and have fun and stuff like that and not be trampled because there's a dance part. Anything. When you know what you decide to do. And then just because we make our own rules, like, oh, we're going to go to Carnival and take over. Just like the bruhs going to a party. Like, if we go to a party and all of a sudden it's 200 bruhs and then we start hopping and strolling, well, we should be able to do it. We the bruhs. No, this is not your event. This is not your party. somebody else is on the floor trying to dance, and just because you want to stroll to this song right here and now, everybody else is expected to move. Byron's shaking his head. He's been there.
As a brush, yes. But I'm just saying.
But no, but again, we expect people. We expect.
But those people paid for Carnival the same way, right? So,
but just because
the whole thing is,
I paid for the party to get in. I don't get the stroll of not Byron off the floor. Byron, get out the way because I paid $20 to get in. Right? That's what you're saying.
I'm saying no, you said it. Carnival needs to increase their rates if they want to price those folks out, and that's what I agree with.
No, they don't.
If you want to not deal with Carnival things, then you need to go and pay for a Royal Caribbean or Disney or whatever.
No, I shouldn't have to pay more because of those. I shouldn't have to pay more just because people are like, we're gonna do what the hell we want to do.
It's not. They are wrong.
We're gonna go against Carnival rules. We took up to the point where they had to make rules. That's because they did what the hell
they until they made the rules, they weren't doing anything wrong.
Okay, I'm done.
Now that the rules are there, they may be doing something wrong.
You're right.
This was good. This was good.
Yeah.
What else you got?
What else you got? Only other thing I got, man. Shout out to K-Dot. Once again, he Spotify went and they removed a bunch of bot streams, and he lost 0 streams from that. So that shows that he wasn't using bots for it, or
so it's time.
Bots.
It's time to drop the case, then, right?
Why would you?
It's time to drop the case, right, Drake?
No.
Hopefully, because Drake lost some. Drake and Nicki Minaj both lost a bunch there, so that's a little bit of a knock on them. And finally, Clips dropped their Tiny Desk as well as their album, and I just want to say, Cooley said it. Yeah, man, I just want to say, Cooley said it right. Whoever is running their rollout of their album, chef's kiss. That is a good publicist, because they set everything up. Tiny Desk dropped the same day that their album dropped, or the day after. Just
they had a little concert and they had a listening party in New York. I think at midnight. So that was dope too.
Yeah, so it's crazy. They lined all that up. So great job to them. But yeah, that's all I got. I had to throw a little hip hop in there while we got it.
Yeah, I don't have much. I'm not going to get too deep. Shout out to the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta celebrating their national convention. They're doing the thing. They're in DC. But I'm pretty sure you've seen them all over. You probably cannot walk down the street. Just a tip of the hat. When I say, it's impossible to hate on the things they're accomplishing and the things they're out there doing and the people they're attracting. And so when I see Black Excellence as an organization, they are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Keep it up. It's great to see it. I know they had some new honorary members. I can't remember all who all the ladies on there.
No, Fawn Weaver was one of them.
Queen Latifah is one of them. It's just
Tasty from Orange is the New Black. I can't remember her name.
New Black, yeah. Of course, Riser remembers that one.
I just saw it. It literally came up on my head.
Rises the
30 minutes ago.
Tasty.
Oh God! But we'll post them because they have some heavy hitters. They have some heavy hitters on there, and it's just every year I'm just impressed. My wife's a member of that sorority, and without Delta Sigma Theta, I wouldn't have met my wife. So shout out to them, and they're taking DC by storm, and I'm just in awe of all the things they're accomplishing.
First woman to ever wear braids on the U.S. Senate floor is a Delta. Senator Angela also.
That sounds about right. The Sigma, I'm gonna do what I want to do. No, hats off to them. It's just been a good week. Last but not least, went to see the Superman movie. It was better than I thought it would be. It was entertaining. Roz, I'm excited to see what you think. The reviews haven't come back too good.
It's kind of like halfway, right?
Yeah,
better than a lot of DC
It's certified fresh, so that's a good thing for DC. So just it being fresh and not having a rotten score in itself is good enough for me. So
yeah, I mean it's pretty good. There's some good writing, some good comedy in there, some good fight scenes. I like the villains. the main villains. I was not a fan of Green Lantern or Hawk Girl. They just picked the wrong Green Lantern. It's just
they have a show coming out. Like, yeah, and he's a asshole in the comics anyway. Like, he's not likable in the comics.
Yeah, but he's
that's the thing.
But to me he took away from the movie. It was just give me Jon Stewart.
Okay.
Any day. Right. Give me Jon Stewart.
That's gonna. I'm excited. I'm kind of excited about that because that's what the show is gonna be. Jon Stewart, Hal Jordan, as well as Guy Gardner. So you're gonna get all three of them.
Guy sucked. Mr. Terrific. I'm not fond of the actor that played him. It's something. It just seems off a little bit. But I do like Mr.
Really, because I've been hearing reports that he like stole the show.
He did. I'm just like when I think of Mr. Terrific, that's not who I think of.
Okay.
He seems a little, I don't know, outdated or something. It just doesn't seem. But his character went along with Guy Gardner. Like it's just like that bad haircut and all that. But if they would have had a newer or more popular actor to play Mr. Terrific, I would have just fell in love with it. It was just still kind of, to me, he's still Darwin. I couldn't stop seeing Darwin. But TJ loved him. So I think TJ already knows who he wants to be for Halloween. He's TJ Terrific, Mr. Terrific, so it was good to see a black hero that was smart and comical, but he stole the show. So he was pretty good. Outside of that's all I got. You're going to see it tomorrow, but are you going to see the Fantastic Four as well?
Yeah, it comes out next week or the week after? It's not out this weekend.
I thought it came out this week. I thought it came out on the 11th. I thought it came out today.
I haven't seen.
I thought Fantastic Four.
I thought it came.
They wouldn't do that, would they? Go head to head with
July 25th. Superman. Yeah, I didn't think it came out this weekend.
Is this weekend?
July 25th.
25th. So something else is coming out this weekend then. I could have swore Fantastic. I forgot what I was watching. I thought it was coming out like back to back, and I was like, "Oh, that is a ballsy move."
Let me see. Now you got me wondering what dropped this weekend.
Maybe we'll go see it when we're in Miami.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
down.
Go ahead and jump into it though. Who Razi? It's July, so we don't need a joke.
Damn. Jokes take a summer break.
It's just who wants to go?
I can let me start this thing off then, man.
All right, let's do it.
So Razi mentioned Kendrick Lamar earlier, and I was rewatching his halftime show, and I had forgotten. Well, no, I hadn't forgotten, but I remember there was chatter around the fact that Serena Williams was crip walking to a song that was dissing her ex, and people were saying that if I was her husband, I would have a problem with that. And it made me think of my other "This Is Us" question. Told you I had a couple of them after rewatching it earlier this year.
You might make me rewatch it.
If y'all remember Kate's boyfriend, and she wound up as an adult confronting him. Toby drove her to where he worked, and she confronted him and pretty much just got it off her chest, like how he made her feel and whatever like that. And she saw that he was still the same pretty much. And so my question is, in light of that, would you two have a problem with your wife going back to an ex from, were they in high school? I think, or just out of high school? Yeah, in high school. She was in high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you have a problem with your wife not quite being over, and not in a romantic way, but obviously, he caused some trauma, some pain. Would you have a problem with your wife reconciling that or confronting her ex? Would you feel some type of way like, man, you got me, you should be over that? Or would you support her like Toby did? Like, yeah, baby, go on, cuss that motherfucker out. Like, how would you handle that if your wife said, look, I need to go handle this with my ex?
I'll jump in first. I think Toby did a really good job of that. I definitely would support her in that because healing takes all forms, right? And if you need that closure, then that's what you need, right? And so I'm gonna support that. It's not like you like, oh, I need to go one more time so I can get it out of my system. It's one of those things where if you need to have that closure and have that conversation of saying, hey, you hurt me, I just need you to know that. Toby was there when she did it. I think he stayed in the car or something like that, if I remember right. I haven't watched it in a while. But I would probably, I'd probably be right there with her. Just in case he popped off so that I can pop him in the mouth. But, it's one of those things that I would, whatever she needs to be able to kind of close that and heal that pain, I'm down for it. I think it's one of those things that expressing your hurt to somebody really does help. And that not just from an old boyfriend, like it wasn't even like she was like still in love with him type thing, right? Like that, I think that's the easy one to be like, you hurt me, mad at you. But even if it's something where it's like, I loved you so much, and it's not that I'm mad at you because you did something wrong. It's like, we broke up, we didn't work out, but I loved you this much, I gotta close that. Now that one, I don't know if I can support that, right? So I really do think it depends on what that closure is and what caused that pain there to be able to say, yes, I'm all for it, babe. But ultimately, even if I don't like it, even if I'm not like 100% on board, I'm gonna be there for her. And if a therapist was like, hey, that's the best thing to do is to give them a call or go see them and be like, just verbalize that hurt and get it out, I'm for it. I mean, it happens. Ferg's looking like bullshit.
He does have that look on his and before you answer, I thought he was going to wholeheartedly agree with what you said, but I'm interested to see what you got to say now. So,
Roger, that was a simple answer.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
We're gonna have to dig a little deeper in that.
Man.
Just to be honest, like I've been married going on 13 years. 13 years in our marriage, if somebody else still affects her that much, we have a problem, right? So they were kind of newly married. I don't know, were they even married yet? Were they still dating or?
I was still dating. I don't even think they were married.
They were married.
Yeah.
Oh, they were?
I think they were married.
Yeah, so this is early on. Those early stages, you're working through a lot of demons and baggage, and you're always going to have issues. Marriage, you're always going to be uncovering things, but for somebody outside of that you dated in high school to still have that great of an impact on you, possibly was an early on red flag. I look at that as like you probably need to work this out before we get married. If anybody I dated still has that much of an effect on me that could possibly jeopardize our marriage, then that is something I need to, when I'm working on myself, that's when that's that working on myself type thing. Right. So Toby took on, Kate was a walking red flag anyway.
And she was. That's what I was gonna say. Kate was so broken from all of that. So, like, that's my thing is like you're in it now. You knew she was broken. Like, to help her heal is a little different.
And so in that situation, it was he was saving. He was a saver. And I love Toby. Toby was probably one of my favorite characters. He was a great guy. He deserved so much better in my opinion. She had so many issues that she probably should have never dealt with it. But when he first met her, he was broken too. So they were just broken together, and opposites. Opposites end up, because he started getting better. He started making moves.
He started healing faster than her, and so that's, I think, what caused the breakup was that she wasn't healing as fast as him. He healed, and I think they became unevenly yoked. Right? He was way too healed, and she was way too broken, and he didn't see the progress there.
Yeah, and so for me, I just, and I'm maybe early on, call it 14 years ago, 13 years ago, maybe that's because I know you need this. If she comes to me today and says like, yeah, I want to talk to, I've been thinking about da-da-da and just the impact. What the hell? Like, what are we talking about?
We have a great life, right?
What are we talking about? And at a certain point, it's great to be understanding, but it's also great to be just aware of how is somebody having this big of an effect on you, and then how have I suffered from this? It's like, how has it affected our marriage, our relationship, and you allowed this to go on, and that's something that should have been worked out years ago. And so I'm not here for.
Yeah. Well,
that's not the, because what happened yesterday that made my wife think about now she needs to heal with her ex-boyfriend from 2006, 2007.
And that's why I said about the context, right?
I'm not with it.
But it was you got to think about the context of that, right? It was she put on all that weight because she was like self-conscious about it. He helped with that or whatever. She was trying to go through that weight loss journey, and like that's what she's like. This is one of the things that caused me to overeat or eat my pain away. Blah 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 blah. And so I think again going back to the reason that she feels like my wife feels like she needs to go there, I think that makes a difference there. And so
Kate always had an unhealthy relationship with food. Don't put that on Buddy. Kate always had an unhealthy relationship with food because that was one of her and Rebecca's biggest things from early on. And I'm not making an excuse. Her journey and her pain is her journey and the pain. It was real. But I think also that you have to protect yourself. And Toby ended up being as supportive as Toby was. Toby lost.
Mm-hmm.
Toby got destroyed in the end. Toby, what the good guy, lost. Being the supportive guy, being at a certain point, you're like, look, I can't. You got to figure this out. And it sounds rude. It sounds mad. It's bad. It sounds misogynistic. It sounds whatever you want to do. Like I'll take that. But you got to protect yourself. We talked about, can somebody make you happy? There's certain things in life you're going to have to figure out on your own. I can be there to support you in a certain way, but in all fairness, if it's one of those things where, I think we've all been to therapy and sometimes you uncover something like, I didn't even know that. I got daddy issues. I didn't even know that. And now you have to have this journey. Maybe. But I don't think that's how it happened though. Buff.
Man, Fur hit so many points that I was going to say. I do think I'm going to take it a step further, though. I just think it's completely stupid. Growing up, man, I was a big talk show watcher. I like watching Ricky Lake. I like watching Jenny Jones, and then of course later Jerry Springer. But Jenny Jones, actually before that, Jenny Jones would do these episodes from time to time where it would be like a look at me now type episode where this woman went to this high school or even middle school and this guy made so much fun of her. And so now she's got this makeover and he doesn't know why he's there. And then they bring her out and it's like, oh, look at me now. You talked about me so bad then. Oh, don't you regret that? And it's like, it was one guess. Because everybody else was like, oh, I'm so sorry. It was one guess. Praise him. He kept it so real. She came out there looking good, and he was like, all right. I mean, we was in high school. I was young. I mean, that's what we all did. Good for you. I was like, right, that's what I'm talking about right there. He wasn't in high school. He was just a couple of years older than Kate. He was young. And to drive the point more home, you see him later in life. That's just who he was.
It's not a you thing. It's a him thing.
Yes.
Not an excuse.
And like you said,
but it's still
like you said, Ferg, she blamed everything on her eating. So it wasn't just him. But I'm just not a big fan of, listen, like you say, it's not an excuse. But kids are assholes, especially teenagers in high school. Like, that's just how it is. And no, it's not right if you were picked on more than other people. But to be in your 40s and you still holding on to that, I think you got a bigger problem than him. And she did. She had a much bigger problem. Like, after she confronted him, that didn't solve all her problems.
She lost a damn good dude.
Yeah. So, with
that being said,
maybe my answer will change when I got a therapy session next week. So I'll talk to my therapist about it. We'll see if I'm wrong. But right now, I'm not with that soft. I ain't with that soft.
I'm not even calling it soft. It's just, it's problematic to, like, what do you want to get out of it? It's one of my questions. It's like, he says, I'm sorry. Voila, I'm skinny. Like, that's not going, it's what, and for some people, they need that closure, whatever the case may be, but I'm not here for that. I will support my wife on so many things. When it comes to an ex or like that, that is a past life. That person is no longer in your life. Parent, like something that those are things like this person, you got daddy issues because your dad stays around the corner, doesn't visit, or like what those are different to me, and that's just me.
And I want to remove Kate from the scenario, so because I asked our wife, so my wife at this time, because I love her so much, I think the compromise would be, I'm gonna voice my support may be, I'm gonna tell you I think this is probably stupid.
But if you need it.
But if this is something you really need to do,
agreed.
I'm not finna blow up our 29 years combined together. 19 of them married. I'm not finna blow it up because you feel like this is what you need, and who am I to stand in the way of what you need? But I am gonna tell her, this seems a bit ridiculous, but hopefully you prove me wrong. And
truthfully, on that, like, I assumed that like they had been to a therapist, and the therapist was like, maybe this is something that'll help, versus them just randomly like, I think I need to have this conversation with them. So when you say that, I really do feel like if you feel that way, your first step need to be a therapist. It don't need to be go talk to them for the closure. Let's go to a therapist and have that conversation with the therapist and be like, do you think this will help? Do something else, right? Can I just write an email to them and just get it off my chest or whatever? Do I need to go find them or whatever? Like, I do think like therapy is your first step. I in my head, I'm thinking they've been to therapy and the therapist was like, hey, maybe this is something that would help.
Yeah, something.
And you said you would pop him in the mouth if he popped off. I think he had every right to pop. Don't come to my job with that. Don't come to my job. I say, hey, we need to like meet for lunches. Don't come to my job with that BS.
Yeah, like you.
This shit.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Buff, because it's like you caught me off guard. I haven't seen you in 20. It ain't no respect.
He didn't even know who she was at first.
Respect somebody, Rozzy. You haven't always been the miraculous and great man you are today. Imagine somebody that showed up on your just went off on you. Like, you remember in 1997, you told me you was gonna take me to the winter farm, and then you showed up with this. It's like, who the f are you?
I can't stop. No.
Yeah. So with that being said, I am gonna take this moment because I do believe that there are people that have been hurt that I've had an impact on their life. I don't know how great, and maybe it's my ego or my, thinking that I had a bigger impact on their life than I did. But when you think about it, you just never know. That person who you were their first love or their first or whatever it is, and they just never recovered because they envisioned this life or whatever. You just never know. I'm a firm believer. I joke, this was years ago when our first shows. I'm like, every girl I dated led me to where I am today, right? And I can say thank you because the way my mind thinks, I was able to navigate it and learn. I feel like I can turn everything into a learning lesson or a teaching moment, right? So I learned and became a better person after every relationship. And then also I was kind of an asshole, so I guarded myself from some things that just so they weren't as impactful as they were maybe to her or other people. But I generally came out, I'm not gonna say unscathed, like I'm untouchable, like I've been hurt, stuff like that. But I came out a better person in the long run. And I don't know if I can say the same thing about people who dated me or people that had interactions with me. Where did they expect more? Did some of the things we go through hurt them? So long story short, my bad. I was young. I was stupid.
That my exes made me a better person. That guy Marcus slapped at Boomerang.
Yeah, but I don't play that shit either.
Jacqueline says I'm a better man, and it's all because of you.
Now, I didn't say one of my exes said that too. Like, it's just.
I know.
You're absolutely right. But I think if you look at life, and a lot of times we don't want to think about it, but I think life is perfectly imperfect. Everything you've been through, everything you've seen, everything you've done has gotten you here today. Even before that, several years ago, Z and I, we lost a child, right? And so it made me think, I went down this rabbit hole of thinking about how many stillbirths and miscarriages happen throughout time to get to me, right? To create my mother, like all these things had to happen. There's there had to be a stillbirth, a miscarriage or something in my family lineage that led to me being here today. Right? My son, TJ, Tavares Jr., he's here today because of what happened. And I say that because I try to embrace life and say things happen, and not one of those preachy, everything happens for a reason and God has a plan and all that stuff. But it's still like, so I take those things, those dates, and like, you know what? Would I be with Z if I didn't date this person? Would I be because maybe I wouldn't have dated her and I would have dated her and then broke up with this person 2 weeks later? All this was perfectly imperfect. So my bad. Rajesh, you should apologize. I know you done hurt somebody.
I'm sorry. I do apologize if I have hurt anyone in the past.
I've already apologized, but I once double booked some dates for Sunset Park at Dolphin Street Movies. And to the young lady that I said too much. Let's just keep it going. Who's next?
God. I had 2 dates to my 8th grade prom, so I can't say much.
Her mama called me, dog. Her mama called me. And it wasn't on purpose. I didn't think Tabitha would say yes. So,
But it all worked itself out, What if,
And she's happy too. Yeah. So it worked out for everybody.
So. There you go.
Roger.
Okay. Yeah, I got one. I've been kind of saving it up. So it may be a little dated. I saw one of our homegirls, Aunt B, posted something. And I guess something was going on in Mobile. I have no idea. I don't follow the T in Mobile like that. But she made a post about like if one of her kids was homeless and something or another. But it made me kind of think about that. And so, I know a lot of like cousins and family members and things that may be on drugs or dealing with things, and they may be homeless or between homes at times. And it made me think about if your child was like consistently homeless, like you bring them in, maybe they end up on drugs and you got to put them out, or they start and then they end up back on the street or whatever. At what point do you just kind of, what do you do if your child is like just homeless like that, and how do you kind of handle that? And what can you do? It's a hard one, right? Because we've seen it like on The Wire, on all those shows, they end up on drugs like or whatever. Yeah, like you can't come to my house no more. Like his sister.
I think for me, it's a fairly short answer for me. I am going to help my child and try to get them. Like sometimes helping them isn't necessarily directly from me. It may be, checking them in a facility or getting them to see a professional, making them go into rehab, whatever their issue is that is consistently making them homeless. I'm going to consistently try and help in any way I can until it begins to become a detriment to me and my wife. So financially, whatever I can do, a roof over her head, clothes on her back, hooking her up with a job, whatever I can do, I'm going to do, because it's going to take a lot for me to just give up on her and just not give a bleep what happens to her. It's going to take a lot. Like it's going to take some betrayal, physical harm or something like that during it's going to take a lot, like something that I can't even think of specifically. So the only answer I can give you is I'm going to help as much as I can, as often as I can, until it starts affecting me in a negative. And it don't even necessarily have to be financial. Like it may become a mental and emotional drain on me to where I got nothing left, to where I can't function outside of what's going on to her. So I think that's probably my limit, man.
That's a great answer, Buff. I think at the point when they become homeless, I've done all I can do.
I see
because like at that point, it would take so much for one of my kids to get there. That means I've done. We're in a situation where it's almost hard for they have to try to fail.
Like, yeah. So, but like in his question, so say, I know you're saying like, I'm going to Bennett, like they're going to stay with me before they become homeless. But like you say they come, they stay with you.
Start stealing at the house.
Or get back on their feet, and then they move out, they back. And then 2 years later,
They're homeless for a little while, but they're not homeless because they got a home to come to. They're homeless when they have no place to go. Right? And at that point, if they have no place to go, that means they've exhausted all options. They've done too. When the closest thing I can compare it to is after Harvey, and there was a lot of people displaced. And when we got back from Paris, Razi, one of the things I did is I went and I worked at NRG and some of the shelters and stuff like that. I tried to get back and just to see how many people were displaced. And it made me ask I just had a very simple, like, what would it take for me to end up in a shelter? Like, I know too many people. I have too much family, too many friends. Like, what would it take for me to, now maybe that's a day because you can't get on the roads and there's no place to go. But I know way too many people across Houston for me to, and I don't say that in a boastful way. It's just, there's a lot of things that have to go wrong. Everybody I know in Houston has to lose their house at the same time, right? Everybody I know, including the two, like, it would take a lot for that to happen. And I feel the same way about my kids is they would have to just have done something, like you said, Buff, that just completely was a detriment to our household, where I can't see my wife looking like that anymore, where she doesn't feel safe. She feels threatened or whatever, or it's impactful to another kid. And so at that point, it's like, we want to save everybody, but at that point, it's like, is there anything I can do? Because everything you said, Buff, I think all three of us are going to try all those things. That goes without saying. But when you get to a point, it's like, I can't do anything. Like, she's threatened her mother. She's pulled up on her mother. She's stolen from us. She just stole her mom's wedding ring. Like, what else can I do? Of course, you tried therapy. You tried to get her help. You tried to check in rehab. We've done all these things, right? Like, these are check the box. I'm calling, hey, dog, I need this, man. This has happened with TJ. What do I do? Yada, yada, yada. Or call intervention. All these things I feel like each and every one of us is going to do. And at a point where when I throw my hands up, or you throw your hands up, it's, if either one of us throws our hands up, it's like, well, may the odds be in your favor. Right. You've tried everything to screw, you've given up.
Yeah. And that's, what I kind of thought about with that is, so many people judge the parents or judge the family of the homeless person. And the thing is, like you guys say, like, I'm sure most of those families, there may be some, trash families that just like first thing they did, you out. But for the most part, I feel like most families would try to figure it out. And for them to be on the street and they not only have parents, but they have aunts and uncles and grandparents and everybody else, and nobody will take them in. They have to be so toxic or so like just unstable that nobody in that area will say, yes, you can come stay with me, right, for a long period of time. Maybe you can stay with me for a day or two or a week or something, but after that, hey, you got to go somewhere, right? Like, you can't just be up under me the whole time type. And I think that's really what it is for a lot of homeless people have given up, and it's a lot of times not the other people's fault that they've given up on them, because they've shown and proved that you cannot be here, right? I can't let you in the house. I'll give you some money, make sure you eat for the day. Let's go down to this clinic. Let's go down to, this shelter. I'll get you there. Maybe even, right, that first couple times I've given you deposit money to get you an apartment, but you keep getting evicted or you keep getting thrown out or whatever. And so at that point, you're like, I don't trust that my effort is going to be beneficial. It's not going to be helpful, right? I've done it, we've gone it, and I've given up to the point that I'm just not doing it anymore. And like you said, I can't. I've got to make sure that I maintain my mental capacity and mental health too. I can't get to the point where I'm so stressed about your living situation or what you're doing that I can't even work anymore. I'm missing, days on my job, and I'm almost about to get fired because I keep having to leave and come get you and all of that, and I can't leave you at the house because you might wander off or whatever, and I don't have the money to like have somebody watching you all the time. So I think at a certain point, it gets harder and harder to be able to support them and be in their life 24/7 all the time, where you make sure they have somewhere to stay.
I'm glad you mentioned the judgment that comes with it too, because I saw that post by her, and I suspect, besides it being a funny post, which most of her posts are, I suspect some of it was to, in case that does happen, let me head out some of that judgment y'all may throw my way, because look, I've done everything I can, and that is what people will do, especially if it's your child. Like, damn, man, you out here going to Miami 3 times a year and your child homeless, like people will judge.
That's a great point. But I think the people who know, the people that would potentially take that person in, didn't take that person in for a reason. And we're talking about people that have means. There's certain situations where people are they're stretched thin. There's too many people now. They're over, we're
grandma can't have another person in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like legally. Right, they're on. They're in a certain housing program where they can't have more than whatever it is. But I think about it like this: I'm a firm believer that people are who they are. Right? If one of you guys or one of us got in a situation where we became homeless or I have enough faith in it. Like Razi's having a tough time. Razi has the capability. This is unlike Razi. He's going through something, right? This is a one-off. Unless you get strung out on drugs or something like that, it has to be something. So bad luck can hit anybody. But for some people, when it's just like, this is the trajectory, this is the path they've always been headed down. They stayed in trouble when they were kids. They didn't want to listen to anybody. They didn't want to work. Dropped out of school, barely got them graduate. They went to college, screwed up. Like, they're consistently messing. This is what they do. This is who they are. It might take a little less. If I give this person, I know they're going to mess this up. This is what they do. If they got kicked out, they lost their scholarship, they got kicked out of the dorms, they've been in and out of jail, youth things. They were stealing when they were kids, they were getting them fight. Like, you have a habit, a pattern of doing certain things. At what point is like, I can go cash out my 401k, or I can do this and to get them in this. But that the probability of this person screwing up is pretty high.
Yeah.
And not our kids. I feel like we're raising great kids, but we've seen those people. We just you got family members. Nephew, let me hold someone. We know what you're about to do with this, huh? Right. Like, if I could give you $1,000 and it would make your life better and you would be on the right track, I would do that today. But we know if I give you $10, you about to go down the street, do a scratch off or buy some beer or some whatever, or Mad Dog. We know exactly what you're going to do with this. So yes, this $10 doesn't hurt me, or yes, this situation I probably could help you and you can stay with me and I got an extra room we ain't doing nothing with. But I know what's going to happen. This is why overexert myself just to say I did it, and that's
especially when I've done it before. So this is my third time trying to do it. Like, I'm done. I've done it once or twice. It's over. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's people that take family out of the way. There's probably friends or people if they said, "Hey, I need to come stay with you for a little while," like, nah.
Right.
Just going through that process would damn near break me, man. The fact that she's falling that low, because like what you said here home, Ferg, our kids, damn, they have to do it on purpose. You know what I mean?
You have to.
Like, scholarship, man. That scholarship.
What is your daughter doing right now? What's the last picture you posted of Jasmine?
I can't say right now because they don't want us to mention it until it's over. But we will revisit.
Your daughter's doing things. Like, she has opportunities that not most kids, most Americans.
It's helping her tremendously
have opportunity to do. And but it's like, you see,
and
you
like
see some of these rich.
Like you're only homeless if you don't have anywhere to go. I don't care if my kid's 40, 45, 50 years old. as long as I got a house, they got a house to come to. They're never homeless, right? They can always come back to the house and stay, and we'll figure it out.
As long as you can follow the rules,
but that's what I'm saying, like,
don't play. You gotta follow the rules.
As long as you're working to be a better you, and you're like literally not just like, okay, this is my 4th time out of jail. I promise I ain't gonna get back on the drugs. Like, dude, at this point, you've made, this is who you are.
Right, right.
You're
not listing me as the house that you go into for the 4th time.
So if TJ just don't want to work, does he no longer have a place to stay?
There's rules to play by. He gotta figure that out. There's the army.
He don't want to work.
I don't want to work,
man. He just.
I don't want to work.
Nobody want to work.
Let that man play Roblox, man.
Do it for a living.
You got about 3 months to make it. You better get in a tournament.
Yeah, like what was it? What is it? Black Panther T'Chaka was like a parent who hasn't prepared his child for
when he's gone.
Not there.
It's not a
that's failed. Yeah. Like whatever that is. Like I live by that. My goal is, I want to put you in a situation where when I'm gone, you're in a better situation. I'm giving you the tools to do what you need to do. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to pour into you. You can accept it or whatever, but I don't need you to struggle. I'm not trying to, but there's certain things, there's standards. You got to pay to play, baby. That's like Step Brother when Buddy's like, he wants to get into family business, but you're a doctor. So, yeah, you're going to have to work.
Well, that's it. We got time for it.
Let's go ahead and close on out.
Man, I enjoyed the hell out of that one, man. So quite a few things as we close out, man. One, I think there is a bright side for Diddy. And it's not just that, he beat those major charges, but some type of, for whatever reason, I fell into like a DMX YouTube wormhole, and they were talking about how Diddy had a chance to sign him, but he chose not to. And I think for his livelihood, that's probably good that he did not sign DMX. I don't know how well y'all knew of DMX, because I was a big fan. He's in my top 5. DMX was crazy. Like, and if Diddy would have tried that baby oil stuff with him, he might not be alive.
Yeah, he might have killed him.
So, yeah, so it's just like, it's probably good that you did not sign DMX, because look at you. You're alive, and I don't know what the judge going to sentence you to, but, it's not the rest of your life. And it's a life that you have because you did not sign DMX.
And you got to smash a lot of people between that time.
Yeah.
Your body count that up.
You know what I mean? So it's good you didn't sign him, because I loved him as an artist. But that mother lover was volatile. I want to say that a stock that I have, NVIDIA, they became the first company to be valued at $4 trillion. So they surpassed Apple. I know those things change. So by the time this episode drops, who knows, Apple could retake them. But as of now, NVIDIA, they do AI. They make chips for AI or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Worth $4 trillion, man. So that's, man, this AI stuff, bro. And a little bit of legal news.
And with that,
the 8th Circuit Court. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, on that AI, Facebook or Meta has put job offers for up to $3 million a year for AI developers. So, when we talk about, with on top of like stock options and everything else, that's not even a bonus. That's a base $3 million a year for like very, very high level advanced AI developers. So if like large language models and that type of stuff, look for those jobs. And to your point, with NVIDIA and everything else, AI is kind of that wave of future. That's that next wave of development that I kind of talked about it maybe a couple shows ago about if you're in school to be a developer, you probably want to make sure you're learning how to do a large language model and that type of thing versus just a traditional Java coding and everything like that. So just make sure that you know what you're looking for, and that degree is going to translate after, the next 5 to 6 years.
Well, Skynet's going to
definitely
kill
the future,
us all by
man.
then. Anyway, so.
So the Federal Trade Commission was set to make companies make it easier for us to cancel subscriptions. Sometimes some of these subscriptions that we have, they make you jump through hoops to cancel. And they was going to make it where companies had to make it like one click. Like, do you want to cancel? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. And that's it. Not all, like some of these companies make you go through 6 or 7 pages. Well, the Eighth Circuit Court in St. Louis has put a stop. They've blocked that for now. So as of right now, whatever subscriptions you have that make you jump through hoops or even make you have to call, like, oh, you got to call us before you can cancel and stuff like that, that's still on deck. Other than that, man, I just want to tell people, check us out, threebrothersnosense.com. Get you some merch. I got me some on the way. Cool shirt, dope hat on the way. So check us out, man. We got everything from clothing, coffee mugs. So just check us out. And you can also hear the latest episode on that website as well. And just make sure you follow us on social media platforms. Contentville, what up?
Yo, 2 things. Oh, go ahead, Vert. You have some? You want to throw in? 2 things. One, I want to say or shout out my kids. They've got their first track meets tomorrow, so I'll let you guys know how that comes out. Ollie runs like a tank, so I'm excited for him to play football. But track, we know that's not going to be a sport. But what I want to do is I'm super proud of him because he's going in there, he's giving it his all. And it's going to make him a better football player because he does run like a tank, which is very helpful in football, not as much in track. But Sophie is a track star. And so I like that they're both trying, they're both putting in the super effort, whether they win or lose, they're going to go out there and give it their all. That, again, going back to our kids have to kind of try to fail. I'm just proud of them for just going out there and trying and giving their best there. So shout out to them. Good luck to them.
So I need to plan to go to the Olympics around 2032.
Somewhere around there.
What you saying?
Yeah. We're playing for that. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That.
So and then when the draft comes, Ollie's going.
There you go.
And finally, man, we were talking about it right before the show. University of Alabama, they sent me my updated verbiage on this scholarship that I have over there for Jenica. And I just want to say Donald Trump, because this new anti-DEI and what's her name? Mima, Kay Ivey, because the state has an anti-DEI problem too. So between both of them, I just want to say screw y'all, because the way they had to rewrite this scholarship to fit the law takes all purpose out of the scholarship. And so I'm really on the bubble whether I'm going to just ask for the money back and try to give it to Alabama State or something like that. Just send it to an HBCU. If I want to put it into an HBCU, I think that is probably what I'm going to end up doing there.
Hey, bro, I have graduating seniors every year that if you want to give them a scholarship, they can have them. We will gladly take the Jenica Kimberly scholarship for graduating seniors for the Houston Omega Lamplighters. Gladly. Just throwing it out there.
I got you. But I got to give it to a woman going into textiles, apparel and textiles. So that's the problem there. So I don't know, maybe Jack and Jill or something like that. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this, but I don't think I'm going to leave it at UA. So hey, you never know.
Jack and Jill, they don't need no damn money.
But I just want to say that it's these laws have effects, and they have effects beyond DEI or anything like that. When people give, I talked about University of Alabama, Birmingham giving back a scholarship for a Black doctor, right? Like, families create these scholarships in memory of their loved ones. And that's one of the biggest things I think that I'm pissed about is they changed the name of it and they took memorial out of the name. And so that really kind of pisses me off in general there. So families create these in memory to create a legacy. And that's the problem, is that they won't let us have that legacy. And so I'm just saying, UA, screw y'all, give me my money back, and screw Donald Trump and screw Mimo.
But there's going to report that's going to come out that says that's going to further that Black people don't have memories or families or some, all the data. But there's going to be some data, some report. RFK probably has that report somewhere in his health initiatives.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll lie and say that it's going to save them money by I don't know, saying that. So
yeah. So first of all, my heart goes out to all the families. I would just say in Texas, but like in Oklahoma and Kansas that have had,
New Mexico too,
that has succumbed to floods. It's just ridiculous. And we're in a time where I don't want to play the blame game, right? That's not what we're here to do. You know, once again, I started off saying my hearts and prayers go out to the families and the communities that are affected. And with so many changes going on, you don't know. I want more information on why things are happening and information that we can believe in, and then a plan to fix those things. There's, what was it, not national weather, I forgot. Who did he just defund?
I think it was them.
Was it?
And NWS?
Yeah. National Weather Service, our system, and FEMA. So the responses have not been able to be the same. So there's a couple different agencies that are being affected that's causing poor response.
And I don't think, I can honestly say, I don't think in my 44 years where politics have mattered so much, where we're saying it's, you know, a couple of years ago, we were talking about, a lot of these things aren't going to affect your day to day and it's affecting day to day. Like daily, something's coming out and you're like, I don't even know how this is happening. The big, beautiful bill and, cuts.
Medicaid and everything. Yeah.
I mean, we probably all know somebody or multiple people this is affecting. And it's just, it's sad, but my heart goes out to all the families who lost loved ones, to I don't know. It's just sad. Shout out to Why the Mix? Is that her name? Waukesha, Why the Mix? For just showing up. She knows what for. I just appreciate it. And it means a lot. I know I couldn't be there, but the fact that you just showed up for somebody that we all know and love. Sometimes showing up is the best thing you do. And then also my heart and prayer goes out to my cousin. I have plenty of them. So the people that know, but we are with you through your journey, and we love you and hope that you come out on the other side unscathed and everything's going to work out. So once again, shout out to my cousin. Hearts go out to the families affected by the flood, and shout out to Waukesha just for being you and showing up for the people that matter. With that being said, 3 Brothers No Sense, 6 Rules of Podcast. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. Talk to you next week. Was that 6?
That was all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounded like it.